Welcome to another Black Myth Wukong boss tutorial video. In today's video, we're talking about Fuban from Chapter 2, located in the secret Golden Realm. Now let me show you how to find him and defeat him. In order to get to the Golden Realm, first we need to head to Rock Rest Flats and jump over this fence in the back. Keep heading straight until you come up to this drunken boar sitting on a rock, and talk to him a few times and he'll explain he needs a sobering stone. The sobering stone is a key item that has to be purchased from a shop that this guy sets up after you defeat him earlier in Chapter 2. Once you give the sobering stone to the drunken boar and exhaust all his dialogue, he'll be ready for a snack and head over to the Crouching Tiger Temple. So head back to the Crouching Tiger Temple, up the stairs and to the right where you'll see the drunken boar. Exhaust all his dialogue and he'll explain that he needs a little vegetarian snack known as the Jade Lotus. You should already have some Jade Lotus in your inventory if you've been harvesting, as it is something that naturally grows in this world. Once you give the boar the Jade Lotus, he's going to talk about how he found the way to the Golden Realm and head back to where you first met him. Once you head back, he's going to want to test your strength in battle, so defeat him in order to move on. After you've defeated him, you'll see him start to drift away through this doorway in the back. Before you head through the doorway, look in the back of this area by the tree. There's a meditation spot we can use to get another spark point before the fight. Now let's head back to the doorway and slip inside to make our way to the Golden Realm. Right next to where you fight Fuban, you'll find this little shrine to rest at. Make sure you check out the shop. There's 2 silver leaves and some refined iron sand, which are pretty hard to get your hands on. Over on the right side of the arena, before you fight Fuban, you're going to find a chest behind a pillar that's got a mind core inside. And over on the left side of the arena, towards the back, by this little tree, you'll find a spot where we can meditate and pick up a spark before we go into the fight. Fuban's gonna start this fight off by digging his way into the sand and then coming at you from underneath the sand. Then he'll pop out of the sand and try to smash you, which looks real scary but is actually pretty easy to dodge. But he can also just jump at you without burrowing into the sand first. Sometimes you'll see him dive at you and then stick his horn in the sand. Stay away from it or you'll take damage when he pulls it out. He also has a giant roar attack that will freeze you if you're standing too close to him. If you see him put his horn in the air like this, he's going to create a shockwave that you need to jump over. But if he just puts his hand up instead of his horn, it's going to be a little AoE attack. If you're standing in front of him, he'll swipe at you either once or twice, but these are pretty slow. He also has a back kick if you're standing behind him too long. Fuban can also bury himself into the ground, and if you're standing close to him when he does, you're going to take damage. Make sure you're targeting him while he's underground so you can see where he's at, and watch out where he comes up because you're going to take damage if you're too close to that spot too. That's why I use Cloud Step in these situations, to leave a decoy for him to attack instead of me. He doesn't always just jump out of the sand either. Sometimes he'll just poke his head up and then bury himself back in to try to get you again. The other variation I saw of this is when he dives out of the sand and then just goes right back into the sand afterwards. I didn't see this move in the beginning of the fight, but eventually he's going to start rolling around on his back to try to crush you also. Fuban's a big guy and he has a lot of spots you can hit. I had a lot of luck hanging out by this back leg and just keep doing my twirling attack until I built up 4 focus points. Then I would wait for the right time and unleash my 4 focus heavy attack on his front hand. But I would make sure to wait till his hand's out front. If you try to get him in the back, his shell might block it. About halfway through the fight, Fuban's not going to come out of the sand until the Yellow Wind Sage starts playing this drum to force the beetle from his hiding spot. And that means we're about done with this fight, so feel free to use all of your spells and abilities in the first half of this fight, because now the Yellow Wind Sage is going to help us and the fight's going to get much easier. But not until after we collect the Wind Tamer from the beetle. That's what's keeping the Yellow Wind Sage at bay, and you can easily just climb up his face across his back and pull the Wind Tamer out of the Buddha's eye. You're not a big tough beetle after all, now that I have some backup, are you? Now at this point, let's just relax. I mean, the Yellow Wind Sage is out here. He does a ton of damage and he'll take care of the beetle for us. Not to say you can't help at all though. There's plenty of times where he knocks the beetle down and you can run in and get a few hits without worrying about taking damage. Let's see, we've got a rat and a beetle and a monkey. I guess all we're missing is the Mad Tiger, so I'll use him as my spirit to finish this fight off. And that, my friends, is how a monkey defeats a beetle, by getting a ferret to save the monkey so that he can really defeat the beetle. If you have any other tips or strategies for this fight, please leave them down in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and obey.